Hi, my name's Leo and I'm a boat builder and a sailor. A few years ago I bought a very old and quite famous wooden sailing yacht for the price of $1. And since then I've been rebuilding that boat from the keel up with the help of a lot of amazing people. This video is going to be focused mainly on the work that has been done and is being done on and around the deck of the boat. Now that includes laying the deck in the cockpit seating area, kevel cleats, courtenies. We're going on a little field trip later, but first of all we're going to look at the skylight hatch or butterfly hatch that Pat has been building, which will cover the largest opening in the deck.
Okay, so this is the side gutter, goes in here, these notches here. It's going to go down flush, and it's going to come through on this outside end. I'm going to notch that away, going to notch there, and so the only part coming through here is the spout. And then this will have to get carved away for the top gutter to flow into here, yeah.
It's a real clever layout with the recessed shoulder on that joint there. So it just dives all the way into the beam. God, if you get this on the first fit, I'm gonna be so mad. God.
That's pretty good.
It's so gross. Wow. Wait, can I get a close up?
Oh, not too close.
Okay.
This is what I call a gabled skylight, because a skylight can either be gabled like this, or it can be flat, it can be round. So this is a gabled skylight. It has two opening sections, and those are the middle sections here. The end lights are fixed. That really helps stabilize it. It's made out of solid teak. The sashes are joined with a what I call a floating tenon, epoxied together. The glass will be bedded in here with two strips of brass, and on the ends will be a cleat, looks like this, lines up like that. That holds the fore and aft end of the glass, and it will be drilled for bronze bars as guards across the glass. The opening sash will have strap hinges across here, and it will hinge up like this. And you can see there's a dado running around all four sides of this sash. They go into these splines. So that acts as another water stop. So as water wants to curl around here, it's going to meet this spline and run into the gutter. So we have a gutter at the top and gutters on each end like that. There will be a little bit of neoprene in here, and that'll also act as a gasket for stopping the water. It hinges down like that onto those splines. It'll get dogged down in the corners with a screw type dog, and it'll have a raising mechanism on the middle rail there to raise it up. And those will go on, of course, after it's all varnished up.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
It looks really beautiful. I can't wait to see it on the boat.
Yeah, me too.
Well, the skylight hatch or the butterfly hatch looks beautiful. Pat did a fantastic job, and now it's actually got a few coats of varnish on it. It's looking even better. There's just a little bit more work to do, putting hardware on it and putting the glass in, and then it'll actually be able to go on the boat. Now, Clifton has been working in the cockpit area for a long time. He made the cockpit footwell, and his next job is to deck over the seating area. Now, we ended up making the footwell out of composite materials. It was plywood, a bit of fiberglass, and then timber cladding. And after some consideration, we actually decided that because the engine room is underneath not only the footwell but also the seating area, and we really don't want any leaks in that area with all the sensitive electronics and so on, we're actually going to do a composite deck in that seating area as well. What that means is we're going to do 2 layers of plywood glued together, and then thinner yellow cedar and teak overlay glued on top of that. Clifton started by cutting out all the pieces of plywood, and then what you're about to see is him gluing the 2 layers of plywood together on the boat itself so that they're laminated to form the shape of the camber of the boat, even though he's going to have to take it all out again before the final fit. What are you doing there, Clifton?
Stretching a little bit before I pop out my glue up.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
You want a hand with that, big guy?
Yeah, now would be a good time.
Oh, it's heavy.
Huh?
After that, it's going to be cleaned up and sealed and then bedded down to the deck structure, fastened in place, and then there'll be fiberglass laid on top so that there won't be any holes in the fiberglass, and then the deck strakes will get glued on top of that. Now, when Clifton and Nick actually laid down the fiberglass cloth with the epoxy, they also laid down another material on top of that called peel ply. Now, the peel ply does not remain in place. It just sits there while the epoxy goes off, and then you peel it away afterwards. Its purpose is basically to give a consistent finish to the epoxy and fiberglass, remove any excess, and it leaves a nicer surface for further coating the fiberglass.
You guys cry a lot?
Hey, I think I'm gonna go get some lunch. You guys hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take lunch. Hey, last time you picked up lunch, Paddy, it came back all squashed. Why don't you take this beautiful new travel case that was just sent to us by this week's video sponsor, Sterling Pacific?
Good idea, Leo.
Oh my god!
I'll be back in 20. I have a flight to catch.
Sterling Pacific is a company which makes ultra-premium luggage for pilots, frequent flyers, and connoisseurs of sophistication. The cases feature a full aluminum design, including the trolley handle and wheel housing, making it the most rugged and sturdy option available. Perfect for being thrown around in airports or boatyards. The handles are made of real Italian leather, and the 2 oversized wheels give maximum control on rough or uneven terrain. Sterling Pacific's unparalleled luggage cases are not cheap, but neither are you. This is a unique experience for those seeking something different, for those who aren't willing to compromise on their luggage. Support this channel and get a great deal by using our special offer code TALLYHO for a $300 discount. So visit sterlingpacific.com/tallyho now.
Gentlemen, lunch has landed.
Just a wee lad didn't know my arse from my toes.
No, your hanging knee from your apron.
Didn't know my fashion piece from my
Buttock.
butt. We're going to Ray Speck's house to flip over his dinghy project.
I'm betting it'll be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Hi there, I'm Ginny, and I'm a shipwright in Port Townsend, and we are here at Ray Speck's house and shop. And Ray Speck is a very well-known legend boat builder. Ray's been working on this boat for just about 6 years, ship's boat. I'm here just helping with the very last finishing touches, and we asked the Tally-Ho crew if they could come and help us flip it, because it takes a village to flip a boat sometimes. So that's what we're here doing.
Okay, hello. My name is Ray Speck. I've been building boats for 50 years. What we have here is a replica of a 19th century ship's boat that came out of the archives of the Maritime Museum down in San Francisco. She built of red cedar, and it's been an ongoing project. This is the last boat I'm going to build of this caliber. It's number 105, and her name is the Doris B, my mother's name.
Alright, down to the beach.
We never get to see nice boats, you know. We don't have access to.
I've got as much time into this, though, as much time has passed since Leo started this project, right?
Yeah.
That is true.
That
I
makes
used
sense.
to see that boat. They're just over the border from Oregon. Who would have realized it's going to become a gold plater? And there's not, I don't know of any other gold platers being built in this century like that.
What do you mean by that?
You're not sparing any expense. You're doing everything the right way. You got the best materials. You got a good crew. You're just doing a great job.
Oh, thanks, Ray. That means a lot.
It's
Yeah,
true.
I appreciate it.
That's really nice
I've
to
been
hear.
enjoying watching the whole process
Yeah.
and seeing Patrick become quite a woodworker.
Oh.
Oh.
Hell yeah, dude.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, that's why he's playing the lead
Thank
right
you.
there.
Appreciate that.
Cool.
Alright, let's do it.
Ray, I hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Yeah.
On the water.
Well, that was a really special and fun little field trip and an honour to see Ray's work. Now we're going to get back to work on Tally Ho, and earlier on you saw part of the cockpit seating area getting decked. Later on you'll see that whole area finished and faired. But first we're going to check in with Bob, who, as well as selling suitcases, has made a lot of amazing progress with his blocks and has also been doing some very interesting work around the deck.
Yeah, since we talked about blocks, I've been doing a lot of work on deck and the rigging related deck furniture. One thing that I have built, they're not quite finished yet, but they're 90% finished, are the kevel cleats. Kevel cleats are pretty simple, very old world style of cleat that are really common on boats which have stanchions or stanchions sticking up above the deck supporting the bulwarks. Basically just a plank of hardwood secured across two stanchions. There's a number of ways that you can belay or secure a line with kevel cleats, and these will be the main cleats used for mooring, for tying the boat up to like a dock or another boat, but also there'll be kind of multi-purpose belay points positioned all the way around the edge of the deck. These are made of a hardwood called Iroko, which we selected mostly because there was a nice piece of it available. These will be left unfinished, so like most of the other, all the other unfinished wood on deck, they'll eventually turn gray. The aftermost kevel cleat is a little bit different. Instead of having both ends sticking out past a stanchion, this one ends at the transom and supports a lodging knee or quarter knee that joins the transom and helps strengthen that joint because it sticks way up above deck. We got our hands on a really nice slab of locust that had some shape. We call that grown timber in boat building. Another one of the dozen or so projects we've been working on with the deck furniture is we've designed a bronze tiller, which is being cast at the Port Townsend foundry. It took a lot of mocking up and careful planning because there will be a lot of structures back here that the tiller will have to miss. We had to cut this hole out of the transom without having a lot of that stuff in place. So a lot of careful design, planning, template making, and we cut this hole, which we had to do because the Port Townsend foundry is also making a bronze hawse to line it. So we needed to know exactly what shape it was going to be. This is Tally Ho's original main sheet jibe buffer. We've been calling it the sheet horse, sort of shorthand. Original to the boat, it's made of wrought iron, and we handed it off to a friend of the project, a blacksmith in Seattle. Over the past 110 years, some corrosion had developed in this joint between the two pieces, and it was missing some of these rivets. So he took it apart, cleaned up the corrosion off the whole thing, re-riveted it with some wrought iron pieces that were also reclaimed from the old boat. It'll actually be on risers about 3 inches higher than it is now, and there will be sort of a bunch of bumpers here and a linkage that the main block for the main sheet attaches to. Also, the tiller, after it comes through the hole in the transom, will go under this sheet horse. So all of this, and also this hatch that I'm sticking up through, sort of define constraints on the motion of the tiller. And we've done a lot of mocking up and measuring and careful planning to make sure that the tiller has just the right shape to miss this stuff and give us the range of motion that we want.
What you doing there, Clifton?
More confectionaries. Just more sweets.
Looks tasty.
It's pretty tasty. You'd think it'd be caramel, but it's a little more banana than caramel. This is G-Flex epoxy. I'm in an open air environment, so don't worry about my face.
I mean, I'm worried about your face, but nothing to do with the epoxy.
Nothing we can do about that part. So don't tell anybody. We're faking this one. It's not going to be a laid deck and corked seams. I glassed down 2 layers of plywood, and then I'm putting an epoxy bedded overlay. I don't have a lot of clamping opportunity, so I'm just going to use a lot of lead weights.
Hey, you should stand on it.
I'll get to that when I have more of it down.
Cool, let me get a tripod for the rest of it. How'd that go?
Pretty good. I broke a sweat. Now I get to carry more lead. I think more lead. I put a whole bunch of G-Flex under there.
Cool.
I'm on camera. Yeah, look at the sweat.
Well, as you've seen, there's been some really beautiful work going on around here. The deck looks amazing in the cockpit area, and then the knees and the blocks are all fantastic. And there's so much more going on as well. The whole team here is really busy and working really hard, but of course I just can't show all the jobs in every video. Soon though, we'll be looking inside the boat and we'll be looking at the spars and rig. But for now, thanks a lot for watching, and a massive thank you to everyone who has donated or otherwise supported this project. It does make a huge difference. It means we're able to keep on doing this work, and we're able to keep on making and editing these videos. So I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Good idea, Leo. That could not have looked more awkward.
You look like you're about to do ballet. You look like you're like...
Weird, like, let's all just be quiet for a second, then it goes, do you guys cry a lot?
Came back all squashed, remember?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it came back all squashed. Totally. He's so sophisticated.